Hello once again, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. This is going to be yet another segment of Mail Call. This is where I can answer your questions directly, questions that were left in the comment section underneath videos or emails or IMs or messages or voicemails. I'm also going to incorporate another top 3 from the year-end awards. The category today will be drying aids. 2 returning from last year, and 1 is a newcomer. So we'll look forward to that. I'm going to squeeze it in during a break, during mail call here. Speaking of mail call, let's get directly to the questions. I hate wasting your time. The first question comes from Daniel Martinez. He's working on a 2010 Toyota Camry, and he has that problem with the sticky dash. That is a common problem. The plastics and the adhesives and just the plastic itself excreting a sticky substance. And he wants to know how to get rid of that. So I recommend Sticky Dash Fix. It is a 2-part formula. The first part is a rich formula that will clean off that sticky residue that's excreted from the plastic and the adhesives. And then the second part is actually almost as important as the first. It's a coating. A coating will help to keep that from forming again. What really brings out the stickiness is heat and humidity. And this also blocks UVA, UVB rays, so it's actually a plus for your dash and your plastics in the interior of your car. You know, you could use anything to really coat and protect. There are designated coatings out here, but this is a 2-part system, and within the kit, the second part's a coating. That's going to be a huge help. That's what I recommend. Okay, the next question comes from Sandro Herrera, and he wants to know before he lays down protection, just to do an exfoliation to clean up and bring out some clarity and depth from the paint. Before he lays down protection, can he use the D-line, D302 from Meguiar's? And the D-line, that consists of the correction compound. I have them. The polish, which is 302, and also the finishing wax. So the 302 is a fine abrasive polish. It is actually a correction system from Meguiar's that I actually have on the shelf and use. I honestly will pass on the rest of their abrasives. But yeah, absolutely. You were speaking of 3D1 and some other polishes, Perfect Finish. If you already have the 302, D302, absolutely use it up. It is fantastic. Next question goes to Kenny Isaac. He's working on a 2007 Toyota Tundra Black. Before he lays down Ethos ceramic wax, that's an excellent choice, by the way. He wants to do an exfoliation, remove some imperfection. He wants to do a 1-step. He wants to know a pad-liquid combination. What do I recommend? Depending on the imperfections that you have, is there a lot of deep swirls? That's something to take into consideration. Yes, the clear coat is softer and thinner than most vehicles. So you're looking at the Extreme Solutions LVR 403, which I just reviewed. That is a good option. It's pad dependent, so remember that. Depending on the imperfections that are on that vehicle, and I'm not quite sure exactly what extent, you're going to have to adjust the pad to remove those. If this just doesn't cut it, what you could do is grab 3D1 and maybe a Eurofiber 50/50 pad. That's really as harsh as you would have to go, or as aggressive as you would have to go on the clear coat, thin, soft clear coat of a Toyota. You can then actually switch to a finishing pad and use this as well. You could still use it to finish and jewel. Let that cure and then lay down your Ethos. It's going to look fantastic. That I can tell you. All right, so how about we get to your end awards, top 3 again. And again, the category is going to be drying aid. And I will be doing a short series at the end of the year. Again, not an original idea. You guys wanted to know my version of this. There are a lot of great channels that already do this. So this is my spin on it. And I will have maybe a 3 or 4 video series on everything from tools to protection to polishes, liquids, waxes, detailers, everything you can think of that has to do with detailing. I'll give you a top 3 or a top 5. Let me know down in the comment section what you want. So when it comes to drying aid, well, Eagle One, wax as you dry. Quick Wax, Meguiar's, shine as you dry, and also Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions 3-in-1 ceramic wet wax. And it will be in this order. Number one for me is going to be a Turtle Wax product. The Hybrid Solution ceramic wet wax. One step drying aid, works incredible, easy to use, no streaking, love the smell. I love everything about it when I use it, especially the results. Number two for me is going to be still Meguiar's. These are some old school products that still are in my favor. And also, to round out the top three, Eagle One, wax as you dry. So the only newcomer this year will be this guy here, and it bumps everybody out down a step or two, and this takes over the top spot for me. And by the way, some of you want to know how I get the cue ball here so shiny. Well, that's going to be this guy right here. And there you go. Okay, the next question goes to Buck Slaughter, and he's working on a black Toyota, and he has the starter kit from Chemical Guys, which is the Torx FX10. Also, he tried using the Torx XF10 with the V36 and a white pad, and it's not quite getting the job done. He has some imperfections that are just a little bit deeper than expected. He wants to know if he can move over to the orange pad and use D300 instead. If you're using the Torx 10FX, yes, it's going to take a little bit more aggression from the pad itself and a polish because you have a very short throw on the 10FX. It's what you really need to remember. When I reviewed it and have used it in videos, you'll see me using it to do a little bit of application of sealants and waxes. I barely use it to correct because it has such a short throw. It's a great unit. It runs great. It has durability. It doesn't have a ton of vibration, but there just isn't a lot of power there. So you may have to step up to an orange pad and keep using the D300. Or you mentioned you have D300 and V36. Try V36 first with the orange pad. If not, switch over to D300. It's a little bit more aggressive. Chemical Guys, I don't really recommend any of their abrasives. The polishers are absolutely fine, but try D300 and the orange pad if V36 doesn't work. All right, the next question goes to Jamie Rosenthal. He came across this gadget in the stores. And this is called the Go Fish, and it is a power scrubber meant to help remove bug splatter from the front of cars and some other stuff. I wouldn't get it anywhere near the finish of a car. If you want something to help with bug splatter, this is what I recommend, something that you can throw in the car and travel with. These are the Stoner Bug Eraser little sheets here, and how they work is simple. Most of us have a lot of the spring water bottles rolling around the floor of our car. I know because of my kid, I have one or two rolling under my seats unexpectedly. Just reach under, grab one of those, and put the blue part of the sheet upwards from the Stoner Bug Eraser. Dump 2 ounces of the water approximately, rub it together, and when it is damp, dab it on the front of your car where the bugs are. Now, because bugs have an exoskeleton that is really rather harsh when it comes in contact with the surface of your car, especially if you have soft clear coat, you just want to dab it first and let the chemical that comes off this pad sort of encapsulate, lift, and eat the splatter that's on the front of your car. I would always carry a couple microfibers where you can come and do your rinseless wash method after this product has done some work and pick up that splatter and the exoskeleton splatter from those bugs. And then you can use this to finish up if you have any of the guts that's really stuck in there. One thing I recommend when you see splatter on your car, one way or another, remove it. Even if you are marring it a little bit, which is really tough to say, it's better than leaving it on the car. Within an hour of bug splatter being on your clear coat, of the sun coming out, you can have that splatter start to etch through your clear within that first hour. That's how acidic bug splatter is. Also, tree fallout like pine sap, leaves, anything like that from a tree, especially pine trees. And also bird droppings. Remove them immediately or within an hour of the sun coming out. It could start to etch through your clear coat. Okay, the next question goes to Marcus Cassius. He simply wants to know, what is my favorite wax from the Angel Wax line? And I know Angel Wax Enigma is probably the most popular and one everybody's heard of by now. But my favorite is Angel Wax Guardian. Absolutely a blast to work with, easy to apply, easy to remove, and boy, without having SiO2, you don't have to have SiO2 in every formula of every product, but without SiO2 in this product, it is absolutely fantastic and durable. Highly recommend. All right, next question goes to Bill Halstead, and he has the Avalon King ceramic coating kit installed on his vehicle, and he wants to know what is the best topper for that kit, since they don't seem to make a designated topper or sacrificial layer for the coating. So I recommend one that I know plays well with a lot of different coatings, and that is IGL Premier. There are a lot of different toppers out there, and high quality ones too, that I really wouldn't have a problem with you using or looking for. And even though IGL Premier is a little pricey, I can tell you through confidence of applying it to different cars with different coatings, as I'm certified for 6 different coatings, that this plays well with all of them as a topper. And as a topper, for some of you that don't know what I'm talking about, after a ceramic coating is fully cured, a lot of coatings have a little bit of a problem with water spotting, and you also may want to just use them as a sacrificial layer to the coating to have the coating last a little bit longer. So what do I mean by sacrificial layer? It is the layer that goes on top of either your car as a standalone or the coating that you apply to absorb the beating that the coating doesn't take. I often get questions as to how can I prove that these products are sacrificial layers. It's just common sense. These layers are on top of what you're trying to protect, and they are absorbing the beating that either the clear coat of your car or the coating or protection that you have just doesn't have to take until it wears down, and you have to just apply it again. So yeah, again, IGL Premier would be my recommendation. That is going to do it for today's mail call. Again, I love the questions. I'm going to continue to insert my year-end top 3 awards as we get closer to the end of year through the holidays. I will supply the email link down below where you can send your questions. They're all great questions. I love you all. Catch you in the next video. And if you are enjoying the content and find it useful, please be sure to like, subscribe, share the content, hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when we have new videos.